All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Raiders Daily. My name is Jackson. I post daily Raiders content, so be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button if you enjoy it. Here, we talked about this actually a couple of days ago, but the Raiders have officially placed the franchise tag on running back Josh Jacobs. It's just a little bit over $10 million. And we discussed all this all week, why this is not a bad route in the slightest, because you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. That's just the reality of the situation. If you look at this from like a business standpoint, from if you're in the Raiders organization, this is most likely your best move. All right, most likely. The thing is this, Josh Jacobs is coming off of a career year. He's coming off a career year. Over 2,000 total yards from scrimmage. He was the best running back in the National Football League. Well, the issue is throughout the first couple of years of his NFL career, the first 3 years, they were injury riddled. And before this past season, where he rushed for over 1,600 total yards, it was his worst season. So he had his worst season and then his best season. And once again, injuries play a big portion in that. But from a business standpoint, from a team standpoint, I don't want to put all my eggs quite into this basket. Now, we could go in retrospect and we could just talk about all this like, oh, should they have paid him last year? Well, it's easy to look at it now and be like, yeah, pay a top three undisputed running back in the league his money. Yes, 100%. At the time, that was not the case in the slightest form. There was a lot of more potential for Josh Jacobs. It was like, can he stay healthy? There wasn't even that much backlash for turning down his fifth year option. Unfortunately, the Raiders draft picks in their young draft picks, like guys like Zamir White, they weren't able, Britton Brown, they weren't able to do well, actually. Like, just keeping it a buck, they didn't do good. So what you do here is, in an extremely deep NFL draft for the running back position, you once again try and draft his replacement. And you see what happens from there. All right. I'm definitely not saying, like never with the seventh pick. I don't think anyone, if you ever see a mock draft and the Raiders at number 7 have a running back, I would end it right there. But maybe later on in the draft, you take a running back with a high risk, high reward. Regardless, though, what you do with Josh Jacobs is you take a wait and see approach. The Raiders have a bunch of money right now, as it stands, even after the extensions to guys like Darren Waller, Hunter Renfro, Devontae Adams. They still have a lot of money to spend. And I know, like, there's a lot of pessimism surrounding this team right now. I believe wholeheartedly, defensively speaking, you can rewire this all day. Draft free agency. This defense can be rewired. It can be retooled. Find guys that are going to fit within the Patrick Graham system, and you just run with it. There are a lot of hypotheticals out there that the Raiders will be at least a middle of the pack defense next season. We've seen it time and time again with defenses. I know the defense this year, specifically the secondary, was abysmal for most of the season. But trust me, this Raiders season, the upcoming season, it's not. I don't think it's going to be as bad as nearly so many people think. All right. Now, the big question's the quarterback, but what you do with Josh Jacobs is you wait and see. If he has another 2,000 total yards from scrimmage season, you re-sign him. Give him a 3-year deal and pay him what he deserves. If not, well, depends on the Raiders' outcome, but you probably should and will move on from him. Keep in mind, it's looking like we're going to have a rookie quarterback. Now, take those with a grain of salt because, I keep seeing everywhere that the Raiders are interested in Aaron Rodgers. They're interested in Jimmy G. They're interested in Mac Jones. They're interested in all these quarterbacks, all these rookie quarterbacks, all these veteran quarterbacks. They're keeping their cards close to their chest, and they're just hard to predict right now. And I think that is, we talked about this a couple of days ago. I think that is in the Raiders' best interest, although it leaves the fans out of the mix. That's in their best bet. They have the 7th pick. That's a high leverage pick. And you just don't want to be floating around. Like, you don't want teams to know, oh, like, take a look at the Panthers. Like, they want a quarterback. All right. It's just nice to have options, and it's nice to have that leverage on your side. But regardless, if it's a rookie quarterback or if it's a veteran quarterback, Josh Jacobs is going to make whoever's the starting QB for this Raiders team, he's going to make their job a lot more easier next season. So we'll go from there. All right. We'll go from there. There's nothing bad going on right now. If anything, people should start to get excited right now about the Las Vegas Raiders because you just are bringing back next season the best running back in last year's league. All right. That's just a simple fact. Hit the like button, hit that sub button for daily Raiders content. That's it for me. And let me know what you guys are thinking down below in the comment section. I'll catch you.